Welcome back to another episode of Sound Pal Stay at Home and Watch Movies. I'm here with my friend Touly. Say hi, Touly.
Hi, guys.
And today we're going to be reviewing Trolls World Tour. This is a video on demand. It recently came out and there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. When the Queen of Hard Rock Trolls tries to take over the Troll Kingdoms, Queen Poppy and her friends try different ways to save the trolls. My limited set of pros is that this features some music elements. We can mention rock, country, pop, disco, even K-pop music. And I really wanted to see the K-pop element because I'm a fan of a K-pop group that was involved in this movie. But that is kind of the limited amount of pros that I had to go work with. I really enjoyed some of the voices. I did like Anna Kendrick's, Justin Timberlake, Ron Fungens. He's really comical, but in this movie, he did not seem that hilarious. I noticed Sam Rockwell, who I know from previous movies. He played Hickory, the cowboy, half horse, half troll. Other than that, most of these characters seemed like they were just put in there because their name. I want to say they put them to dress up the movie. For example, we did see Barb, who was played by Rachel Bloom. She was doing it for her grandpa, who was played by Ozzy Osbourne, who is really well known in the heavy metal genre of music. And we do see other people who are involved in the music industry. All my cons are going to basically be from the second movie because I didn't see the first movie. So to me, it seems that the second movie was too flashy, too dressy, too sparkly, and it did not focus on the story. It did not develop the story. It did not develop the characters as most other movies that we have reviewed here before. This movie, to me, it seems like it was just plain out goofy, and I know that this is going to basically get on people's bad side and say it's a kids movie. But if you're at home and you're renting this for your kids, you're going to sit next to your kids and you want something that you can follow along, and be it that it's a cartoon or something. And for example, Toy Story, Frozen, stuff like that, they have good stories. You can at least sit through those and make sense of the story, versus this movie that is just glittery jokes, comical nonsense. This one basically just focuses on getting famous people, all the big names, the talent. They seem that, oh, we'll get the adults' attention with that, versus developing a good story. So for me, I guess it felt like it wasn't really well developed, too bland. I think that's basically all I can say. I did not enjoy it at all. From what I was expecting to see, I was waiting for the K-pop group to show up, and that was Red Velvet. Their scene was too short. I did not really see how they were involved in this. I did hear them speak a bit, and it was basically like the other groups that were involved from the reggaeton thing was almost like a cameo. If you can imagine them coming out and just waving at the screen and saying a few words, and that was it. I'm pretty sure the studio just took their characters and just made them dance a bit and put a few of their tracks or something behind them, and that was it. To me, I mean, it just seemed like it was almost like they teased me and took my money. I guess with that, I'm going to pass it on to my friend Touly and see how he saw this movie and what grade he gave this movie.
I think I feel the same way as Sal, but maybe from a different light. For instance, I know that Sal is speaking highly on his desire to have wanted like a specific genre, aka K-pop, to be more prevalent in this film. Whereas for me, I didn't really care for any of the genre. I didn't really care for one genre to be the more overrepresented one, other than what the theme of the story was going for, because Barb, being seen as the antagonist of the film, was more into the heavy rock or heavy metal genre. So, from the story perspective, I could go with that, but in terms of me personally wanting a particular genre to be represented, I didn't mind too much about the film. My biggest issue with the film kind of derives from what Sal said earlier, in a way, when he compared it to movies like Toy Story, where the foundation of a story is well established around sort of like a comical, even childish sort of environment, and both children and adults can enjoy those sort of films. And a part of me wants to just look at this film as being one that was made for children. So seeing it from that perspective, I can say, if anything, in terms of a positive thing about this film, that the film did its job for reaching out to its targeted audience. the way the characters were acting, especially with your main character, Poppy, who was played by Anna Kendrick, who did a great job voice acting her character, as well as many of the other voice actors and actresses in the film. For your main character to be the way she is in terms of the sort of mistakes she makes, the sort of hollow thinking that happens throughout the film that leads her down these paths where I, as an audience member, question her motive in that she wants to save the Tros from Barb, who's trying to conform everybody to her genre of music. And at the same time, I felt like there's some hypocrisy behind Poppy's intention, because I felt that she was kind of doing the same thing at a point with her music until she came to realize, I would say, her ancestors, were doing way back when, which eventually made her come to realize that, being different is not a bad thing. And I suppose that's the biggest message in the film, that it wanted to relate to kids. The film showed potential in that, but it was just too extreme on one side, and that one side being, it's a film for kids. And of course, they have to have all these elements to grab a hold of their targeted audience's attention from the start of the film to the end of the film. And how can you do something like that? But making it extremely flashy, incorporating songs that kids can, grab a hold on too. We get songs like Gangnam Style, Who Lets the Dog Out. Not a lot of music that goes beyond what the lyric is trying to portray. It's just very catchy, the tunes. And, kids will easily grab a hold on to those and be able to, to sing along with. Personally, the music in this film, it didn't work for me because they weren't original. I can appreciate a homage or a tribute to a cover song, but when most of your music, if not all of the music in this film, were just covered songs, that's very different from other animated films where the songs themselves are original. And it's through these songs, in a way, that we get to see the characters who are singing it sort of develop, or we get to see how they're feeling at the time. It's a mechanism that a movie can use to help us understand what's going on, whereas in this film, it just covers song after cover songs, and I can't relate to what the character is going through if what I'm hearing is what's already out there. So that to me is also another complaint about the film. It's just one of those films where I want to treat it seriously because it does have like a serious theme to it, but with all the flashiness and the goofiness, and again with our main characters sort of being the representation of this flashiness, of this goofiness, I just want to really think of this as being a children's film, but it tries to be serious as well, and that's where it just loses me. So because of that, and for the movie not being able to balance out those two aspects of being funny or comical with the serious side, the film lost me. So in the end, I am going to give the movie a 3 out of 10. I would still recommend it for kids. I mean, that's fine. I'm totally on board with that. But it wouldn't be a film that I would even watch alongside with them. I would just turn it on and have the kids have fun with the film. But for me, it wouldn't be one that I would actually sit alongside them and watch.
Kind of agree with what you said there. Let me touch upon some points that I said. I'm not about saying that I want to see more K-pop in the movie. I'm saying that I feel that I got teased that some of the characters that I saw on commercials, they were teasing Red Velvet and J Balvin, the aspect of reggaeton were going to be in the movie. And people were like, oh, that character must be a troll or something. That's going to be the new member of Poppy's group, and they're going to fight alongside her versus Barb, the metal queen. And I was like, oh, I'm aboard this. It's going to be all the genres versus the rock genre. And I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is battle of all the bands kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I kind of see this. The idea was lingering in my mind of the story. Barb is going to get everybody, all the genres together, and it was going to be this battle of the bands, kind of thing. And I can see it, like, how comical it would have been of people taking the stage and being a battle of the bands, kind of funny play on words when they're going to be on stage and like, oh, you go on to the next stage, or you fell, get out kind of thing. It was a contest, and you lose your strings or something. But when I started seeing the movie, and then I'm like, okay, so it's about conquering people now. And like you said, it was about your music is better than mine. I'm going to unite people under one music and everything. And everybody's different, but that's okay. I was on board again when I heard that. I was like, okay, this is about accepting people. But then later at the end of the movie, another message came out saying, oh, the music is inside of us. And I was like, wait, I thought the whole point was everybody's different and that's fine. Now it's like there's two different messages here. Like what's going on? So to me, this movie had a mixed message going on. But then looking at it, Touly's point of view was kids don't see it that way. Kids just want to see trolls and jokes and funny characters. And that's it. So to me, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. I'm recommending it for kids. That does it for this review of Trolls World Tour. Please join us next time when we're going to review 1917 on Blu-ray.
Deliver this to Colonel Mackenzie. It is a direct order to call off tomorrow morning's attack. If you don't, it will be a massacre. We will lose 2 battalions, 1,600 men, your brother among them. You think you can get there in time?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Good.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.